It's the first ever regular intro.
It's not the first ever regular intro. We did regular intros before, and then like the second or third episode, I asked you, or I said, I'd bet you give your left nut to fuck your wife like a porn star.
And I wouldn't, because I do it every day. Not every day. That's a little nuts for anybody, really. I mean, we have things to do. We're parents
Yeah, yeah.
and jobs.
Anywho, welcome to Ramble On with your host, George Steersman.
And Susan B. Anthony. I mean,
He-
Brandon Meese.
He's thinking about getting a sex change, and he really likes the way Susan B. Anthony rolls off the tongue.
I guess. Anyways, this was I think it's the very first episode George has ever said, "Welcome to Ramble On."
Well, I guess they'll just have to listen to our collection of older episodes and find out.
Yeah. And then I eventually have to redo the audio on, I think, the first 3 episodes because it's so low because I was using a crappier software to upload.
Well, you live and learn, Brendan. I mean,
I didn't get loves.
I honestly can't remember what diapers we used for the kids that were last in diapers in my household.
I didn't use loves. I used Pampers or whatever the hell. Did not give her kid a rash.
Pampers or Huggies.
Huh. Okay.
It varies from kid to kid.
Yeah.
Like most of the kids in my household were had I don't want to say allergic to milk, but they couldn't drink regular milk at first, so we had to give them soy milk after like.
You could just call them intolerant.
Yeah, dairy intolerant.
Yes.
And then they grew out of it.
Dairy intolerant, not just intolerant people.
I'm intolerant to people.
No. I am.
That's a. We'll have to figure that one out because let's just say this: we're both intolerant to people.
No, I'm just mostly. I'm a once in a while extroverted introvert. I am more introverted than you because at least you still want to work in the public.
That's where money is.
You work.
And I from time to time I enjoy my job. Not right now
Yeah.
because I'm the primary driver.
I love my job. My job's amazing.
Hey, if we get paid doing this, more power to us.
Yes. And then I can go, I have the power.
He might actually dress up like the 80s He-Man for that. I'm not sure.
And I won't wear loincloth. I just won't trim. Same difference.
You're a sick, sick man.
Same
I love
difference. Yeah, I'm Italian. What do you expect?
it. The Italian stallion.
Mm.
Da-da-da, da-da-da. Which breaks us into our first subject I want to get into tonight because I'm not a well-read person. Unlike my cohort here, Brandon loves to read.
I would call you well bred.
I'd call me white bread.
White bread?
It's a joke.
Oh, okay.
Cheap bread, white bread.
Hey, for the longest time I've known you, you've never been cheap.
Where's the rim shot at? Is it 4?
It's when I take the pants off. God, you love that button. It's all good.
This is Brandon's fault. He made sound effects possible. And if he doesn't think I'm going to fucking hit the sound effects button, a couple of times an episode, he is sorely mistaken.
At least you're a lot less likely to push the buttons than my daughter is. When I was doing her podcast, it was just like, she wanted to be like, oh, look, it's been 10 seconds, button. Just like, oh my gosh.
If it's funny and the button applies, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
That's how it is. That's how I roll. Brandon's well read. I'm a cinephile.
Cinephile.
I like movies.
Oh, I thought you're like a pedophile of sins. You fuck sins.
That would be the sin eater.
Sin eater.
He eats your sins and then you can go to heaven and fuck off.
But does he get off to sins?
No, but he's immortal.
Huh. I guess he could in his lifetime. I get to push the button too.
You did pretty much bankroll all this, so you can do whatever the fuck you want with your fancy toys.
All of it.
Anyway, I just want to bring up movies. I mean, it's one of
Yeah.
my favorite subjects. I love movies.
Oh yeah, Let's do movies. You cinephile. There we go.
This is going to be a long night.
Hey, I was a cinephotographer. I don't know why you pushed that button.
I don't know why either.
So tell me about the new movie coming out that you're excited about.
Shit. I mean, there's not really a lot of movies I'm that excited about. Although you did bring it up earlier, when I saw the trailer for Halloween Kills, that looks awesome. Now, I don't know much about it. I don't know if it's going to take place a year after or during the same night, like how they did Halloween's 1 and 2.
Wait, Halloween 1 2 was the same night?
Correct.
Huh.
Halloween 1, Halloween 2, same night.
Must be very exhausting.
Well, from how you perceive it, Michael Myers is, well, pretty much Dr. Loomis, as portrayed by
Don't worry, you'll get there.
Donald Pleasance in the first 6 films. We don't talk about Halloween 3, okay?
What about 6?
Halloween 6 was alright. Halloween 3 has nothing to do with Michael Myers except the Halloween trailer. Halloween 2 trailer in the movie. Number 3 revolves around this like Celtic cult using these masks to kill children and people. It's very weird.
I mean, it sounds kind of fun.
Yeah.
Look, let's all wear masks and do things that we shouldn't be doing. I mean, I'm not condoning, killing children. That's fucked up. But just like,
Yeah, very.
And not hate crimes, okay? Just like you should all dress up, put on costumes, and go skee ball. I don't know.
That'd be nice.
No one does skee ball anymore.
Anyway, so I have no idea what the Halloween Kills is going to be about. It looks good. And given the fact that the way times are now, horror movies have to get really more graphic with the kills and what you actually see. Starting with Rob Zombie, because when he did his versions of the Halloween films, the kills were more brutal and it was a bit more graphic. You can't do that same tame shit from the 70s to the early 90s anymore.
I mean,
you got to push the button. I can't watch it. And he pushed the button. That's on me, folks.
So anyways, I can't really agree with the whole it needs to be bloodier or more gory or more grotesque.
Not for me. I can't watch a lot of those. Like, I can't watch the new Stephen King movies.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, I should watch the new It. But that Bill Skarsgård, oh my God, he's just so... As Pennywise, he's very frightening. More so frightening than Tim Curry.
Really? Oh, okay, this is just me personally. I find the new one just comical. Like, it's kind of like stupid comical.
First of all, I could watch Stephen King's old movies all day long.
The one with Tim Curry genuinely bothers me.
Yes, Brandon suffers from chlorophobia.
No, it's not the clown part of it. It's just that, okay, what the way Tim Curry did it is like, it was more of a like his Pennywise like enjoyed doing it, and like it was all like a fucked up game. But the new one was just like, oh yeah, it's a fake persona just so he can eat people.
Well, that was it for the most part in the Tim Curry one.
No, but like I said, Tim Curry portrayed it as like he was like actually enjoying it for the fun of it, not just for like I'm doing it just because I have to.
I am the eater of worlds and of children.
Like it's like he gets off, like as the Pennywise clown in the old one, but the new one is just like, yeah, I have to make this weird, creepy, fun persona because I have to eat people. And it's just like, yeah, but I mean, it's like two different ways of playing it.
He eats children because they're easier to kill.
Yeah.
Easier to get to. And he's been doing it for centuries.
Yeah. And also, I think the older type clown makeup is way scarier from the Tim Curry version than like the newer, like more streamlined clown makeup.
First of all, I think they pulled that from like iconic clowns from over the centuries is what they were going for with that.
If they really did that, they would have seen some more fucked up shit. Look up any clown pictures from like the early 1900s. That shit's scary. I mean, I can show you on my phone, but people at home wouldn't be able to see it, and it's hard to find stuff that's not copyright material to post on a podcast. But trust me, old school clown pictures.
I know they are pretty fucking frightening, especially like some of those old clown movies.
Yeah, like I said, you think that's bad? I'm going to show you this. This is a clown from about 1910, and this is considered happy and joyful.
That looks like the clown from fucking American Horror Story or something like that.
That's where they get their ideas from, the early stuff. But that was supposed to be comical, like only a little bit of hair left. Silly stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't want to mess with them looks like this, with a giant bald cap on and horrifically large eyes. It's just, no, thank you.
You expect his mouth to fucking unhinge like a snake.
Yeah.
Yeah. Old clowns are frightening.
Yeah. Oh, now this one. Here you go. There's vintage clown for you. This is something you can get off. This is your clown porn right here.
Not as bad.
But it's still like messed up looking. I would rather face like the new Pennywise clown. I could just laugh at this than compared to these guys.
I think what it is, it's the graphics for me. I mean, because technology.
I guess what I forgot to do. Yeah. My apologies. I took it from my watch though. See that? Yeah, no watch.
I don't have a watch anymore.
Yeah.
But both my devices are on silent.
Silent.
The sound of silence.
So it was Halloween movie.
Yeah, it looks fantastic. I can't wait to see that. And at least they got that done before COVID, I assume. Oh God, I saw this.
They're still filming during COVID.
Yeah. Well, they've got majority of it done at least.
Yeah.
Well, I saw this. Cold Steel did an awesome tribute to that. Cold Steel is a knife company. We may have dropped their names before. I know I definitely have. Stop showing me that shit.
Dude, this one is creepy as shit.
Yes, they're all creepy.
Looks like
and if I saw one, I would be holding a big ass knife in my hand. This reminds me of like what? Just a couple. Wait, what year was that? That the clowns were fucking people dressed up as clowns wandering the streets and whatnot, fucking with people.
It was only like 2 years ago.
Yeah, so like 2018, people were doing that.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyways, George likes movies, but you can't tell us a single good fact about any of the Halloween movies.
You keep showing me these fucking weird pictures about clowns, and we're talking about the movie I don't even have any information yet for. So
I said Halloween movies, not movie. And why is it Halloween Kills? It's like we already know this. This is like number 13?
So, okay, these movies only go as far as the one Halloween Kills, the 2018 Halloween, and then goes back to Halloween 1 and 2. Those are the only movies included in this particular, for these movies right now.
And this isn't the remakes. This is supposed to continue from the old?
From the first two, yeah.
Okay.
Or at least the first one. But in these, Laurie Strode, portrayed by Jamie Lee Curtis, was always Michael's sister in that, or at least that's what they were selling. Now they're saying, oh no, it was never related. He just like imprinted on her, found her, saw her, chose her.
Was it like sexy imprinted? Like mushroom
just wanted
stamp?
to fucking kill her.
Oh, okay.
Sorry for all the coughing, folks. So yeah, these movies are just that, and then they say fuck the rest of the universe. But let's see. Next year will be the 12th Halloween film.
Are you sure?
I just did the math, yeah.
Nice. So, why is it Halloween Kills?
I couldn't tell you. Like I said, I just found this information out the other day. I see a trailer. That was it. My internet's shitty at the house, so it's not like I can do in that much research.
That's fine. At least my internet's okay here.
Yes.
So what was the Halloween movie where everybody lived?
I don't think you're talking about Halloween. You're talking about April Fools.
I have no idea what that is.
April Fool's Day. It's another horror film from the 80s. Everyone does, in fact, live.
Oh.
Because it was a big April Fool's joke.
Okay. That sounds really weird. I believe you. Don't get me wrong. I believe you. It just sounds like weird. It's like, yeah, horror movie where everybody lives. There's tons of horror movies where everybody dies, but not when everyone lives. So what's your favorite Halloween?
Well, that's a tough one. I'll always watch the hell out of the first one. All day, every day. Rob Zombies were quite nice.
Rob Zombie did Halloween movies?
Yes. One in 2007, another one...
I thought he did the remakes.
Yeah, he did.
Okay. All right. So I was thinking of like the original run, not the remakes.
Yeah, he did one in 2007 and one in 2009.
All right. Cool.
And like I said, they were a bit more brutal.
Yep. And we can pretend 3 didn't happen. Was 3 because of like some kind of legal dispute, or was it like a different like production company, or you don't know? Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Like I said, I try not to. Every time I watch Halloween movies, I avoid it like the plague. I wish I could just throw it out.
That's fine. Yeah. Only reason why I was asking is because when you had the Evil Dead franchise, Evil Dead 1 and 2 was by the same company, Miramax.
And then Army of Darkness stepped in.
They had to change the name and change a lot of the things because Miramax wouldn't sign off and let them have the rights to make a third movie, so they had to change it. Yeah. That's why they couldn't call it Evil Dead 3. They called it Army of Darkness. That's why the intro to Army of Darkness was different from the exit of Evil Dead 2. Because they had to make it legally different, and it was all frustrating for everybody. I thought I would have loved to be a shemp on that.
What is a shemp?
A shemp for any of the Evil Dead movies is basically like... it was their term for, because they all loved the Three Stooges, Bruce Campbell, Sam Raimi, Ted Raimi, Robert Tapert, the guys who were involved in making Evil Dead series of movies. Shemp was basically anybody who was like an extra, but like of like the demons in costume. Like in the second movie when they cut up Henrietta the grandma and all the pieces go like all weird and like talking through the floor, or like the head's talking, it's severed on the floor. That's actually Ted Raimi, not the grandmother. That's his face and voice. So they said that he was shemping.
Oh, okay.
He was being shemp. And also, Tom also had to be like the arms and the leg that was moving and other weird random things. Like a lot of times when, during Evil Dead 1 and 2, they can only keep the actors there for so long. So they had the other people dress up in makeup, like heavy makeup and wigs, or to do the voices. Because they only can keep some of these people for so long because they're like, hey, we got other things we got to do, or you can't pay us this much. We're going to go do something else.
Gotcha.
And also when there's reshoots, so it's like, well, fuck it, just throw Ted Raimi in some makeup and there you go.
Okay, so to answer your question better, because I don't know that much about Halloween 3, I googled it, and one of the things that people ask, why does Halloween 3 exist?
And the answer was?
The idea was to make a new film set during the tutorial holiday each time out. And it was that film and its standalone story was a success. It could spawn its own sequels. But as far as John Carpenter and Deborah Hill, the original writers and directors of Halloween 1 and 2, actually John Carpenter pretty much, I would assume, owns the rights to Michael Myers and Halloween, were concerned Michael was dead. So they began development of Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. That didn't help much. So they just wanted to see what they could do with the name and try to make a spin-off, I guess, for the most part. And it bombed terribly.
Now, see, if you're going to do a spin-off, Make it a fourth. Not the third, because then you can say, hey, yeah, we had a good trilogy. We tried to do something different with
Yeah.
number one after that. Because having it just as a duology doesn't really work for most people. There's not enough background or lore to make much of a fan base to try and pull a spin-off right away. It just doesn't work that I've seen. I could be wrong, but hey. So, what else would you like to talk to us about?
Well, let's see. Well, we were talking about Halloween Kills. I don't know much about that.
Okay.
I just love good movies and whatnot. I know we tried talking about it before in movies or before in one of our previous podcasts.
Is Sigourney Weaver going to be in it?
Do we have the money to get Sigourney Weaver?
I don't know how much she costs nowadays. I mean, she went on Game Grumps for free. That was a YouTube show.
No, I was saying we tried to talk about movies, but then we did as our title suggests. We rambled on about other things. But then again, we also had 5 guests or 3 guests for that particular podcast, if you recall.
I don't.
The one with James, Robert, and Christina.
I don't think we've gotten to that one yet.
It might be coming up soon.
If I feel like putting it up.
Fair enough.
I can always admit ones I don't think are cool enough.
Fair enough.
Or that they just suck. But we'll see. Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
Well, tell me about one of your favorite movies, Bren.
Oh. Okay. I think we basically already did, but I can try another one.
Yeah, you've already covered Evil Dead.
Yeah. I like that. I didn't care for the remake that much, though. I felt like they tried too extra hard to make it like...
They always try too extra hard with remakes.
Let's see what kind of overly gross out factor we can pull off. It's just I'm tired of those kind of films. But anyways, a film that no one really knows about, really old one from the, I think, 2000s. Clock Stoppers.
I've heard of it. I don't think I've ever actually seen it.
Clock Stoppers was... I just love the movie because of the idea behind it. Is it was a watch that some Black Ops government facility made. It was a watch that doesn't stop time, but makes you move so fast as an individual that it looks like everything else of time has stopped, but it hasn't. You're just moving 80 something times faster than everybody else.
Interesting.
But also the fun realistic part about it too is you also age faster.
That sucks. I could see why they'd scrap something like that.
Well, they didn't. They didn't scrap it.
What you couldn't see or hear is me rolling my eyes when he said that. He's yeah, fucking government wouldn't fucking scrap anything like that. It's let's put a pin in it.
Yeah, so it was kind of it wasn't like a horror movie or scary movie. It was a comedy.
It doesn't have to be. Well, it's science,
sci-fi comedy.
Yeah, sci-fi comedy.
About, late teens guy getting girlfriend because of said, device, because he gets a hold of it. And then, like I said, just interesting premise. It's if we could just all have watches that just sped us up, but it's a watch with a consequence. You speed up your own time.
There's always consequences for something like that when it comes to magic or technology.
Yeah. So the creator of the watch, they kept him prisoner in this government facility. He'd aged 40 years in 2 years because they kept him in permanent sped up time in a time chamber.
To make the more shit or something like that, or to do his research faster?
Yeah, do his research faster. Because originally it started out as just as a room, a self-contained room of 60 feet by 60 feet domed room.
Right.
And they're well, hey, make it, you've got 40 years now. We're going to put you in here for 40 years. You either, die or you find a way to make us a small version that just fits on someone's wrist. And he's fuck, okay. So he started out when he was like 20 or something. And then by the time he was done, when he made the watch portable size, he was 50s. But then in the movie, he finds a way to reverse it.
Of course.
The creator. So then but he does it a little too far. So now he's like 14.
Ugh.
Yeah. It was the guy from I think it was Third Rock from the Sun. I can remember his name, but it's the guy who does the the silly slapstick comedy. The
French Stewart.
Yeah, yeah. Pretty sure that's what his name was.
The uncle, right? Who always wore the fur coat, Harry.
Yeah, I could have gotten it wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Unless you mean John Lithgow.
I will find out soon. But yeah, that was one of my favorite movies because I love the concept. It was like, yeah, speeding up time, but there's also a consequence, so it's more realistic.
Yeah, because you don't get that in time traveling shows or movies usually.
Yep. It was made in 2002. And the cast was French Stewart. And that's like the only notable name. All the others, I have no clue who they are.
Of course.
But quote main actor guy, the kid, his name was Jesse Bradford.
Doesn't sound familiar.
Exactly. I mean, it's not to say that he didn't do a lot of work. He did get a lot of work, just not.
We're not familiar with him.
Yeah, just not as a main actor. Lots of work, just not as the main character. Probably more as like a character actor, I guess they're called. Where you see them all the time and stuff, but they're never the main guy.
Like Patton Oswalt.
Yeah, but like less obscure names. Like, have you seen the movie 10 Things I Hate About You?
Of course.
The dad of the two sisters.
Yeah.
He's in like a shit ton of stuff, but you have no clue what his name is half the time.
I see his face in my head. I just can't think of his name.
Exactly. That's why they're called character actors. You see them in tons of shit. They're great actors. They're great supporting actors.
Like Patton Oswalt and Brian Dennehy, to name a few.
I wouldn't consider Patton Oswalt because he's actually had a few where he's kind of the main character. Or at least like he's like, like not the A actor, but he's like the B actor.
Well, so is Brian Dennehy too, but he is also a good character actor.
Yeah. Or like any of the time you see soap operas. It's got like the same kind of thing.
Yeah. Let's see. We talked about Halloween. Do I have an obscure movie myself
that you like?
I mean, I love the 80s and 90s B movies. Those are some of my favorites. But I go for sci-fi or horror of those.
Well, if we want to go 80s sci-fi / horror, Killer Clowns from Outer Space was hilarious.
Fuck yes.
Drinking blood through crazy straws in cotton candy cocoons.
Was it blood or just liquefied human?
I want to say it's blood because they just kind of like tapped them with a crazy straw and started drinking from it.
Yeah. But then again, when they accidentally peeled back the cotton candy or whatever, it was like a liquefying human. The first victim, the farmer.
Yeah. It could be, yeah.
I
wonder if they tasted sweet. But yeah, anyways, hilarious movie.
Yeah. Or like monster movies, not necessarily
Leprechaun?
Sci-fi. No, well that came after. But I'd say
80s monster movies.
That's a 90s movie.
So what 80s monster, would you consider Conan?
No, that's action adventure.
Huh.
And that's well known because it had Arnold in it. And he already had a career by then.
Or should I Conan?
Conan. Deep Star 6. It's one of my favorite sci-fi horror movies, I'd say.
Was that the one where they were on a space station?
No, underwater.
Underwater.
So there's two movies like that. Deep Star 6 and you have Leviathan. Deep Star 6 is an underwater facility made by the military to have it staffed and to have a underwater nuclear deterrent, a nuclear launch pad underwater.
Cool.
They're behind by like 3 or 4 months, and then to finish it off, they try to blow up this underground cavern. It's massive, and what they said in the description is a giant arthropod.
Fun.
And and to make things worse, because they were attacked and they're about ready to leave, this idiot accidentally blows up the nukes because the computer because of miscommunication.
Ah.
So, and there's a reactor in the facility it's about ready to blow too.
Oh, sidetrack. Critters?
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
That one lasted for like 5-6 extra movies, but like I saw the first two. I liked the first two.
I remember the one in space.
Oh, gee, of course. Why not? They've done Leprechaun in space. They've done Jason in space. Might as well do Critters in space.
The Critters in Space one came out in the 90s.
I don't doubt it.
So it was probably the third one, I imagine.
Okay, yeah, probably. Everything's in space. Like I said, I have to get past the second one. There's going to be something in space.
Yeah, your dick's
That
gonna
was
be
the
in
80s.
space.
Huh. That'd be interesting. Killer dicks in space.
Well, now, would that be a porn or would that be a movie?
I don't know. That's a. I mean, you can probably do both, but I think it'd be more comical if you did it more as one that's horror. So
Yeah.
So parenting happened, and I had to do stuff. That's why I paused it. Apologies, and George had to get a new line of Coke.
I have a serious Coke problem.
But it's delicious.
Not nutritious, but it's delicious.
Yeah.
We were talking about movies, and we kind of lost track of where we were. We were talking about Critters, and how there was like fucking 6 of them and shit like that.
Oh, in space.
Yes.
Everything does in space. Yeah.
Thankfully, there wasn't a Michael in space or a Freddy in space or a Trimmers in space.
Yeah.
What do you think about the new Trimmer movies?
Well. So the Tremors. I love the series. 1, 2, 3 were great. 4 was meh.
I watched it. I mean, it's not my favorite. I love the series. The series was awesome.
Series was cool. Tremors 2 will always be the best movie. Because all the guns.
Didn't have a lot of guns. Trimmers 2. It had a grizzly big 50 caliber single shot sniper rifle. Had the elephant guns.
Yeah.
Either a couple of Berettas or Tauruses.
Yep.
But yeah, well, Trimmers 1 had more guns than that.
Didn't have C4.
It had pipe bombs.
Yeah, pipe bombs. And 5 pounds of C4 is just a bit much.
4 pounds.
4 pounds. Yeah.
I can't help it. I'm sorry. I have a thing about lines from movies and movies. I'm a pretty good walking movie encyclopedia.
Yeah. They just came out with a new Tremors movie. Haven't seen it. It's on Netflix.
Shrieker Island.
Shrieker? Okay, yeah. Like I said, I mean, I lost count after the 5th one. Because the first one was the original. Second one was they went to
Aftershock.
Mexico.
Yeah. Third was Back to Perfection.
What was the third one? Oh, the Ass Blasters, right?
Yeah. Or that should have been, I believe it was Back to Perfection.
The fourth one was when they went back in time, like.
No, it wasn't. Well,
they can go back in time.
Prequel.
Yeah, it was a prequel. It was like the 1700s, the Gold Rush era.
19th century, 1800s.
And then the 5th one was about a seismic station in some other place.
No, archaeological dig site in Africa.
Yeah.
And that's where the Trimmers started. And because they started out there were a different version of it, or an older version of it, where the tentacles actually detached from the main body of the Trimmer, or tendrils, what have you, from the mouth, and they were independent of the main worm body, and they kind of look like cobras. And then they did this weird thing where the Ass Blaster was a Shrieker, and the Ass Blaster were like the same in the one creature instead of being
Two
Shrieker.
different variations. Yeah.
And then the third one, I think, goes back to it or something like that. The Trimmers are still... It was like that in the 5 and 6. Bloodlines and A Cold Day in Hell. And then the last one is Shrieker Island.
So that makes it the 7th.
Correct.
fuck. And the only ever present person is the character's name is Bert.
Burt Gummer, portrayed by Michael Gross.
Yeah, Michael Gross. Funny actor.
He started off on Family Ties.
Yeah, I remember that. It was a good show.
Yeah. I like him better as Burt Gummer.
Yeah. It's still interesting to see how he was like a side character that became like the main character of his own series of movies.
He was a side character in the first one.
Yeah.
He moved up in the second one.
Yeah, the first
And
one
he
he was
was-
married to
Reba McEntire.
yeah.
And the only reason she didn't come back for any of them is because she's a famous country singer.
Yeah. Famous.
Semi-famous.
I'm sorry, I couldn't take most of her songs seriously, just personally. My wife loves the ever living shit out of her.
I know she is. I couldn't tell you if I've heard any of her music, though.
Most of the songs I have heard are just depressing as shit. But
It's
I think
country
it's
music. They're always fucking depressing. Play it backwards. The dog came back, your truck's fixed, and your best friend came back.
Huh. Okay. Well, I'm glad to see you're biased against country music. That's fine. I grew up with country.
My dad used to say, "My best friend ran away with my wife, and I sure do miss him." Line from a country. He just like, my dad. He says weird ass shit.
Yeah, I do know your dad well enough. Not all country music is bad. If you ever listen to a country singer called Brad Paisley, he's only made one depressing song out of all of his songs. Most of them were about him having a lot of fun and loving his wife.
I'm just saying. I'm just taking advantage
I know
of a stereotype.
Yeah.
Like all jocks are dumb.
And all
a stereotype.
juggalos are nice people.
I thought a lot were.
That's the stereotype. Is that a lot of juggalos are nice people.
No, but I thought like they actually were.
Yeah.
Some are. Okay. Some others are assholes, dicks. I don't know any juggalos, so.
Yeah, 90% of them are very nice people. It's a community.
Okay.
I don't understand it, but hey, whatever. If you want to paint your face and be awesome, go for it.
I mean, fuck. I mean, I guess Insane Clown Posse is still popular to this day.
I mean, yeah. I don't think they've made any more music recently, but yeah, they're still popular.
They donated so much money to charity, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Those guys are awesome.
Yeah.
All right, back to Trimmers.
Tremors.
You people know what you signed on for. And when I say you people, I mean our valued listeners. We ramble on about random shit.
Yep. And we don't think of you as sheeple either.
Maybe.
That's fine.
Was that bad?
Well, thank you. We'll be here all week. Try the veal.
Why not lamb chops?
Because she is still on probation.
Isn't that woman dead?
Yeah, that's why she's on probation. Lamb Chop killed the puppeteer lady, who reminded me a lot of like Loretta Lynn / like Reba McEntire. Just like a plain like cut and dried staple of like country person. And I gotta say, I mean, the show wasn't that bad, but I mean, wasn't as good as Tremors. Did they ever try to make an animated series?
No, not to my knowledge.
They should have. Would have been
Fuck yeah.
just fine.
I mean, if they did it by today's standards, like with that whole Jurassic Park animation where the killing happens off screen, no blood, no gore, it'd be kid friendly. Because, dude, we grew up on that shit. That's one of my fondest memories, sitting in front of the TV with my sister on a Saturday morning eating red rope licorice, watching Trimmers.
Yeah.
And this was when there was only one.
Yeah. Well, also, today's cartoons have changed so much hardcore than art when we grew up with. Now, like, was it the MPAA or whatever, the Mature Parents whatever. It's like, like Ren and Stimpy was allowed back then, that kind of stuff. Biker Mice from Mars, Street Sharks. Now
Extreme dinosaurs.
now it's like super like you don't see any violence. You don't see anything. Our stuff that kids watch nowadays is stuff like what's that one called? Paw Patrol.
None of the kids in my life watch that. They watch anime.
Well, thankfully that's finally coming back to be a mainstream thing, which is nice. Because personally, American cartoons, they're just it's just let's do some violence and some weird stuff that's nonsensical and has no plot line. Anime, even for kids, there's a plot to it. What the hell?
Unless it's Avatar: The Last Airbender, which takes.
That's not anime.
I'm just American cartoons. That's the only one that.
Well, that's also trying to be an anime.
Yeah.
So I mean that's why it's much better.
There's a plot.
Yeah.
It follows all 3 seasons of Avatar: The Last Airbender follow the main story. It's like teach him the elements, the other bending styles, defeat the Fire Lord.
Yep.
Bring balance to the world.
And teach morals. Yeah.
Morals and scruples.
Yeah. That's what I missed about old stuff. Like G.I. Joes and stuff. Then they were like, yeah, here's today's moral of the story.
Maybe I don't remember Extreme G.I. Joe.
Mostly, yeah.
That came out in like the 90s, late 90s, something like that.
Yeah.
It lasted only a couple of seasons.
So
I don't know if they did any...
I like the Robo Dog.
There was a Robo Dog?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah. Robot Doggy.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Rough. What the fuck were we talking about?
Like I said, we go down the rabbit hole and we fuck it.
My dick gets stuck in the rabbit hole.
Yeah, it is relatively, yeah. Originally, it was about movies. We were doing about creator movies.
We were talking about Trimmers. And then it went to your
cartoons.
Because
I was asking if Trimmers ever had a cartoon.
And they did not. It'd be interesting if they did.
Yeah. You know what's interesting is out of all the series, you've never seen any of Tremors fucking.
It's an asexual creature. Just
no, all of them. I think it was just the one.
No, it's like
I thought it was the little walkie ones from number 2. That are asexual. That they literally threw up another one of themselves.
Okay, so it's like this is like a more fucked up version of the lifestyle of butterflies and moths.
Are butterflies and moths asexual?
No. I'm just saying it's like a twisted version of that. So the worm, the graboid, the trimmer.
Okay.
That's the fat caterpillar, and then instead of like turning, it turns into the chrysalis or pupa, and then 3 shriekers come from that.
They explode out of it.
And then if they eat enough,
eat their way out of it.
And then if they eat enough, they vomit another version of themselves that grows rather quickly, and that makes them asexual. And then after 3 days to a week, if they're still alive, they turn into ass blasters.
And they grow wings and do explosive chemicals out of their asses to fly.
And they kind of glide.
Glide, yeah. Explosive gliding.
Yeah. And then from there, when at the end of their life cycle, they just lay an egg, and it starts anew. And
to the giant whale thingies.
No. There's actually a phase in between that. It looks like you see those in the Wild West version of Trimmers.
Mm.
It kind of looks like a sand ray or a manta ray in the sand.
Right. Yeah, I think it was interesting how they went was like, it's not like evolutionary stages, but more just like adaptive stages.
Yeah.
To become more of, not like a threat, but a better way to proliferate the species.
Well, first of all, if that species actually did exist, I mean, we would have been fucked.
Yeah.
We'd have to live in rock caves for the most part.
Yeah. Literally just carve out giant ass motherfucking rocks and live in a.
Well, no. I mean, people would have done that for a while, like to avoid them, and then we would have adapted into like some kind of structure. But nowadays, I mean, they have heat signatures, so. And I don't think the government. That's just a plot in a movie to make things more interesting, where the government won't let you fucking kill it because it's an endangered species. I would consider that more like I would classify it as you would hogs, an invasive species.
Yeah. Because also, if it was like quote real life and like they became a little bit more proliferant, is that you'd have the problem of there's like a whole group of them and they're all in different stages. So you get attacked from underneath, from the sky, from the fucking land.
You're fucked.
Yeah. Because they're not all, and they're not like 16 of them all doing it in the same cycle. They'll all be in different cycles at different times.
So, if it just stuck to like a desert-like area, like they are in the first one, and like they're trapped in like some kind of valley, so the graboids can't get out. But if they were to, let's see, if you had like snipers on hand to take out shriekers, actually, it would just wipe out the population before. You just gotta make sure ass blasters wouldn't come into play at all for the most part.
Yeah.
Or like dome it, like an area, and like just have the ass blasters there. But then again, they were actually in number 3. They used their ass to burn a hole through Bert's vault door to the safe room.
Yeah.
So
it was like a relatively high intelligence.
Yeah.
I mean, if they were a real thing in the prehistoric era, which they said that they came from, of some
Precambrian.
Yeah. The humans never would have made it. If that was true, they would have never made it. They'd all been dead.
No, we probably would. Life would have found a way, or we would have adapted to cave life.
Yeah, I mean,
we would have looked like albinos I could see in the dark.
But like the incubation and the like the growth stages are just too fast for humans to be able to adapt quickly enough and in enough numbers to be able to defend against this kind of threat.
So what happened? Okay, so
you remember number 2 when they became asexual and they threw up another one. It was nearly half of its size, and then in a few hours it was the same size. The growth rate was just too high to be able to be fully adaptable.
Yeah, and then a week later they turn into an ass blaster.
Yeah,
or 3 days to a week later, as I recall.
Yeah, if it only takes like a few weeks for like a small army to happen, especially with a large food source.
Yeah. But then again, it was Precambrian was before humans. So what if the the fossil, like the eggs lived, and like as mining became more prolific and over the years, they knocked a few loose and they actually survived, and that's how we actually got. That's why we'd never seen them in millions of years. Because what if, like, they could survive that long in the ground or something like that, hatching hundreds of years, thousands of years, millions of years every so often? Because you never know where the first 4 came from.
Yeah.
They were just there.
Yeah.
And then in number 2, it's like they find the spike in the rock, the Precambrian rock. So you never know. And then in the one that takes place in the 1800s, they were mining and they were blasting, and that knocked out loose some of the eggs.
I still don't know why they didn't have any miners mining. That took a while. I'm like, is he gonna go for it? Yeah, okay. Because, 1800s, there was no labor laws for children.
Correct.
Just, why not? Oh, yeah, do you remember there's Sorry, no, I'm not going to go off subject. Go ahead, continue.
So, back to trimmers. You got any input on this? Or your 2 cents?
Like I said, it's just that I don't see how fossilized eggs could live if you, like, any type of cell DNA being, like, active alive in some form of suspended animation. We're not being frozen cold. And even then, there's cell
Deterioration.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Over millennia?
Yeah, you're probably right, but who knows how...
I mean, I could see if we cloned it, sure.
Yeah.
But not just, oh yeah, it defrosted, it's fine.
How could it defrost when it, got encased in lava?
Exactly. It would be cooked to death.
Yeah.
So unrealistic.
Yeah,
there
are plot holes in that. It's like, it's like how... Where the fuck did they come from? They never said that.
Yeah. But it's fine.
So you loved the first movie?
Um...
You liked 1, 2, and 3. You loved 1. You liked 2
No.
and 3.
I liked 1. 2 was the best because it was hilarious.
I loved all of them. I love 1, 2, and 3.
And 3 was kind of fun. It'd be 2, 1, 3.
2, 1, 3.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because with 2, Bert's like, sure, I'll do it, but I want all the guns. And he's like, yeah, the Mexican government gave me everything I wanted. Everything.
Everything on my wish list.
Yeah.
Makes my homemade stuff look like cherry bombs.
Yep. And it's funny when Bert got ambushed in the second movie by the what were the name of the walking ones?
Shriekers.
And they ambushed him on his truck, and then they found that he survived, and Bert's holding up his 2 pistols, and he goes, I
am completely out of ammunition.
Then there's a 3-second pause.
That's never happened to me before.
Yep. Yeah. So that's why I liked that one.
I suppose it is more comical.
Yeah. And they get to see more weapons.
Third one's more comical than that, though, I'd say.
Yeah. When they had the kid trying to make a graboid fake theme park.
The Desert Jack's Graboid Adventure, something like that.
Yeah. I thought that was a great play on like themed parks.
Yeah, because they were trying to go compete with Grady and Earl's Monsterland, which apparently turned out to be a thing after the second one, though you only hear about it briefly.
Yeah.
And then the kid Melvin from the first one came back as a fucking real estate developer.
Yeah, that was funny. So, I think that's going to be it for today's podcast. We've done a good enough job of keeping you almost entertained.
I hope so. I mean, we have 7 subscribers right now.
I haven't kept up. I just know I'm too famous to care now. People know my name when I walk down the street.
Yeah.
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 I don't have to charge anymore.
I don't know if that's a prostitution joke.
I can't even find any.
I think we passed one on our way here.
Really?
Well, we went... Okay, so I hate getting off at Central.
Right.
To go to Aldi's or anything else like that. So I get off at Main and turn down that one street that goes to that gas station that requires the card only. Where utility vehicles fill up or municipal vehicles fill up at. On whatever that street is. I don't remember the street names.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah. We're pretty sure we passed a hooker or a crack, or we weren't sure.
Ah, nice. All I know is that that they're not walking the streets anymore. Now they just put ads up on what do you call those places? Craigslist. They still put them in, but not worded in the way it sounds like. It's easily found by people.
Yeah.
But if you know what you're looking for, you can find it.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, usually the meetups, women looking for men kind of thing.
Yeah.
The police did a sting operation with the local FBI.
God.
Yeah, it's just like if people need to fuck, let them fuck. Make it legal, but just keep it regulatory, and
Like
do
how
checks.
Australia did it.
Yeah.
They put all the hookers and prostitutes into brothels, escorts into brothels. They get tested, and they post the results like right there in the lobby.
Yeah.
And it's safer for all parties involved because there's security there.
Uh-huh.
So if you're drunk, fuck off.
And prostitution has always been a workforce job since,
Forever. It's the oldest job.
it's the oldest profession in the world. Yeah. Because, we have basic, as people call them, animal instincts and needs. And making it legal isn't exactly fair to everybody.
Apparently, the divorce rate dropped in Australia after they legalized it.
Yeah. Yeah. And like I said, that's fine. And then this outskirts of Nevada, there's also those ranches like the Bunny Ranch or whatever the heck that place is called. Let's find a way of doing it. Don't make things illegal just because you don't have a way to tax it.
Legalize pot in every state. Tax it, and we could probably get it out of national debt.
Oh, New Jersey just passed.
Arizona just passed. My dad's going to be happy as a pig in shit.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot to text him that this morning.
Oh.
I'll do that tomorrow.
I'm pretty sure he knows.
He lives out in the sticks.
He's probably be so stoned off his couch, he'll be on the floor with probably a whole size, like 6-inch blunt still in his hand.
I was trying to see I was trying to tell him, it's like, maybe at your age you should start vaping. It'd be healthier for you.
Yeah, but then he'd be calling you, so how does this button work again? I push it 5 times or 3 times? Do I hold it down?
He bought one of those throwaway vapes when we were working at LAX before, because that was the only way you could smoke in LAX.
Was it vaped?
It was one of those ones that it's like good for a week or something like that, or a couple of days. It looks like a cigarette. You just fucking take a toke, you get what you need, and then a couple days later you just fucking throw it away.
Huh.
He bought it at 7-Eleven or Arco, I think.
What gets me is how do they know, like, okay, you can do like 6,000, like, what do you call it, puffs or pulls?
I'm not sure.
Until the battery's dead? Because then what if your battery will last for half of whatever stuff you have in there? Then what?
They must just do extensive testing, that's all.
I
Or maybe it's
guess.
like, some devices that have batteries in them already. You just pull the thing, and then the power supply starts.
Well, no, the disposable ones, that just messes with me,
Yeah, it is what it is. I mean, people had fucking mods. Like, I didn't know it was that popular at the time when I was working there.
Oh.
Like, the first vape I ever saw was the blue.
Okay, yeah, BLU.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was like...
Sure blew
yeah.
you away.
I mean, it had some celebrity showing it on, doing an ad for it and whatnot, but I don't know. It was very popular. People had mods. It was insane. And like my dad takes us out and it looks like a cigarette. And the guy says, "You can't smoke here." It's like, it's not a cigarette. It's a vape.
And the guy's like, oh.
Well, it didn't matter. People were actually sneaking down to the porta potties and smoking real cigarettes.
Of course.
And joints.
That just sucks. It would suck for anybody who actually has to use the bathroom. And they're asthmatic and they just walk in and they're like, nope, I'm going to die.
Honestly, it helped immensely. I didn't smoke. It helps with the smell of shit, though.
The smell of shit helps cover the smell of shit.
The smoke helps cover the smell of shit.
I thought that's what the blue liquid was for.
Yeah, but if it hasn't been pumped in a couple of days, and as hard as it is to get a truck onto the tarmac at LAX...
Yeah. That's why I'm glad you're not doing that anymore.
I miss the money.
Yeah. Don't miss the weird hours, though.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
I was going to say, you work graveyards, so...
I love graveyard.
Doesn't matter. I can still function on 4 hours or less of sleep. I don't know if I was genetically predisposed to it, or if I just through...
No, it's a real thing. Yeah, there are.
I know.
3% of the population.
4%.
Okay, sorry, 4. Now, would you ever actually been able to work in a real graveyard? Doing grave shift from like 10 p.m. to 6 a.m.?
Like what, as a night guard?
Yeah, 10 to 6, yeah.
With a gun, a knife, and
No,
a flashlight?
nothing.
Yes.
Not allowed to have anything.
Not even a fucking flashlight.
You're allowed to have a flashlight, that's it.
Not even a billy club.
No.
How about a shovel?
Get back in there.
Get the fuck back in there, damn it. They don't pay me enough for this shit.
Yeah. Only reason I asked is because I listen to a podcast and they talk about all the time about how...
Wow, you listen to a podcast? We should do a podcast.
What's a podcast? No,
Motherfucker,
seriously,
that was my line.
tell me, what the fuck does podcast mean? I've never Googled it. I've never searched it. I literally don't know who came up with it and why it's called a podcast. We're not in a pod. This isn't a pod. I don't know.
You want me to read it to you, or do you
Please.
want to hear it?
Read it.
Podcast, noun, a digital audio file made available on the internet for downloading to a computer or mobile device, typically available as a series, new installments of which can be received by subscribers automatically. Verb, make a digital a digital audio file available as a podcast.
Okay, try like, why is it named podcast? You know, like what? Why call it podcast? Why don't you just call it internet audio? You know, or shit you listen to, or talkies. That'd been way more fun. It'd be like a throwback to the 20s. We'll call it talkies. You know, like podcast. And why cast? Why cast? I'm a philosopher. Why art thou? I complain, therefore I am. But anyways, back to being graveyard guard at a, graveyard shift. Wouldn't want to do it. Too many kids jumping the fence, thinking they can do like what do you call it, the Ouija board and all the stuff, and just like general
I'll
assholes.
just let you read the fucking thing.
Oh, okay. So it started because of iPod? A combination of iPod and broadcast. This name is used by shows. Some also suggested the backronym Portable On Demand, or POD, for similar reasons. Okay, well that makes more sense.
It just depends on how you search for things. Instead of what is a podcast is to why do they call it a podcast?
Podcasting, previously known as audio blogging. Okay. Dating all the way back to the 1980s. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, well, hey, that makes more sense. I can understand portable on demand, and that was first started in like iTunes and kind of things, where it was popularized.
Yeah.
So that makes more sense. Okay, now I know podcast. I still want to call it talkies, though.
That'd be cool.
That would be way easier to say than podcast. Talkies.
Say, Brennan, you want to go see a talkie?
Yeah, and afterwards I can get a blowy. No.
His wife doesn't do that.
I'll never know. Neither will you. No, yeah. Yeah. I mean, just podcast just sounds kind of odd. I doubt, like I said, before I read that, I doubt anybody knew why it was called a podcast.
Probably not. And we've just informed our audience, and that makes me feel good.
The more you know.
Na, 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 na.
And then what's the other thing we used to do?
G.I. Joe. What?
Because knowledge is power. G.I. Joe. Yeah.
Fuck off. Okay,
No,
yeah,
it's
you're
fine.
right.
It's fine. It's all good.
Well, before this, we were trying to sign off, given the fact that we've done a pretty good podcast, and it's getting pretty late.
Yep. Because knowledge is power.
G.I. That should be a sound on that board.
Yes.
Find that shit.
Yes.
Find it, tough guy.
All right. Anyways, this has been fun. We've had a good time. Hopefully you did not too. Or did, if you're like
We
that.
hope you enjoyed yourself.
Yes.
Let go of your dick.
And or other objects. It's not always a dick.
Very true. There could be a woman fucking finger blasting herself to us right now.
And what if you don't get off by touching yourself?
Yeah, I don't want anybody else. When I think about you, I touch
Touch
myself.
All right.
How the fuck did that make it as a song in the 80s? Or was that the 90s?
90s. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's all good. Anyways, thanks for the fun. See you guys later.
See you next time. Like and subscribe.
Yay.
Bye.
Bye.